President Cyril Ramaphosa has told those in business that the South African Wholesale Electricity Market will begin its operations in the coming year as a decisive step in diversifying the country's electricity market. He says this will help address concerns of the high electricity prices by large energy-intensive industries. He's also addressed a business breakfast by the Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of Southern Africa, highlighting the importance of public-private partnership as the country rolls out, amongst others, a mega transmission project of 14,000 kilometers of new high-voltage power lines. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi has more.
South Africa is looking for, in the coming decade, to industrialize at large scale, and this is where the private partnerships will be important in making sure that this becomes a reality. We see SABC today hosting President Cyril Ramaphosa as he outlines some of the plans that are underway, including the building of a 14,000 kilometers of a transmission line, but also some of the reforms coming out of Operation Vulindlela, and just listening to those in the industry in terms of what would be the impediments and what will need to happen in ensuring that there's an alignment of policy and ensuring as well that this economy is not lost as per the projects that are coming through. This, of course, was at the invite of SABC. They are an industry body and they're looking at ensuring as well that they are not left behind and there's an alignment with government in terms of the boom that is coming here where projects are concerned. I'm going to bring into the conversation with us this afternoon Mr. Elias Monache, who's coming through as the chairperson of SABC, who'll just give us a sense of the importance of having the president here and just some of this, boom that he's talking about in terms of infrastructure development that will come through in the next decade. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC.
No, thanks to the viewers of SABC. We arranged this presidential breakfast today at the backdrop of both the challenges and the hindrances and the possibilities and opportunities for the steel industry. As a result of that, we then thought we need then to zoom into specific areas. For example, the infrastructure rebuild program, where we talk about the rail infrastructure for the country for both passenger and the logistics in its entirety from Transnet to Prasa. Looking at different corridors in terms of the requirements for rail products and rail signaling and various other things, and the role of the industry that needed to play in that infrastructure build, because in the absence of certainty and predictability, it then becomes difficult for businesses then to invest, particularly in the rail infrastructure. That's the first part. The second thing then deals with the energy configuration for the country at large, because for the big steel users of electricity, they need then to have security of energy at all times, 24/7, 365 days. So we want them to look at how then do you build the transformers, the cables, and various other things that are required in that industry. So again, the demand side, what are we then talking about in terms of the focus in the next coming period? The third part is around a plethora of other projects in the infrastructure space, whether we talk about the water and sanitation, whether we want to talk about roads, whether we want to talk about the end-to-end movement of people from Durban to Johannesburg in terms of the fast train, whether from Joburg to Limpopo, Messina. All those things, they basically boils down to the industrial capacity and the metal and engineering as the backbone for reindustrialization. So in the main, we're then saying to government, can we then talk about a process of engagement with clear timelines and priority areas, so that we don't just have an open debate and discussions that is endless. So in a nutshell, the president is of the view that one, we need then to look at, yes, of course, that engagement with clear timelines and time frames and with clear predictability and demand side, so that we can then trace it and track it and monitor the achievements, and if there are any bottlenecks, then we can then deal with them, because you cannot then move from Johannesburg to Northern Cape using public transport that is not efficient and effective. So these are some of the things that we're then saying we need them to develop a proper, efficient and effective transport system for the people then to move across the country and within the region and even outside the continent. So these are some of the things that we're then saying we need them to look at.